First News.
Free Bucs fans are up for grabs today, and they always go very quickly. We have what you need to know this morning to make sure you don't miss out.
More revelations in the weeks leading up to the Capitol attack. I'm Amy Lou in Washington with the new evidence and witness testimony from the January 6th committee.
New details from the Westport mass shooting. We're learning more about the young man who died, how his family hopes he's remembered. Good morning, 6 o'clock on your Wednesday. Thanks for joining us on First News. I'm Jamie Weiss in for Donna.
I'm Cody Holyoke. Nick Bender's over in the Weather Center with your first alert forecast and a beautiful sunrise.
Look at that. Just some cirrus clouds, kind of a pastel sunrise in the making. I know it looks a little hazy. I think, oh man, it's going to be another humid morning. Not the case. It actually has a fairly lower humidity level, so it feels comfortable. It's 66 degrees with some cirrus clouds this afternoon. Typical summer heat, 90 degrees, sunshine. Heat index values should be right around 90. This evening, starlight, probably see that big full moon this evening. 84 degrees. We'll cooling off into the 70s overnight, down to the 60s again for tomorrow morning. 58 degrees in Tonganoxie, 61 in Liberty, 68 in Independence and the Excelsior Springs. Highs today, upper 80s to low 90s. 92 in Paola, Olathe, and Lawrence, 88 in Cameron, so just a little warmer than yesterday. And tomorrow will be hotter and more humid than today. 94 degrees on Thursday. Now here comes a change to the forecast for Friday. Friday afternoon we'll still have highs in the low 90s. But look at this, a chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the morning. I'm going to show you that hour-by-hour timing of when you can expect the possibility of a downpour Friday morning. Coming up, Cody.
See you in a few, Nick. Thank you. We're following breaking news this morning from KCK. Police are investigating a murder. Officers found a man dead in a home off of North 58th Street near Meadowlark Lane and Parallel Parkway overnight. They say they have a person of interest in custody, but if you know anything that could help get answers here, call Crime Stoppers at 816-474-TIPS. As we get through into the deep part of summer here, remember heat stroke and exhaustion are a threat for anybody outside in the heat.
And we do have some symptoms you should look out for. The CDC says to watch for a high body temperature, hot, red, dry, or even damp skin, and a fast, strong pulse. Those are all signs of a heat stroke. While people suffering from heat exhaustion will sweat a lot, have cold, clammy skin, and a fast, weak pulse. Get that person to a cool place, but hold off on the water until their temperature comes down. Call 911 right away if they are throwing up or if any of those symptoms last longer than an hour. And given the heat, there's a giveaway starting soon to help folks keep cool across the metro.
We love this giveaway every year. Ace Hardware and Salvation Army teaming up to give away box fans to people in need. KMBC 9's Peyton Headley live there at the spot where all these fans will be given out in KCK. Peyton, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Well, in just about 2 hours, this empty parking lot here is going to turn into a fan drive-through distribution line, and that's because the Salvation Army and Westlake Ace Hardware are handing out more than 1,000 fans. They got the money for these fans from the beginning of June. For 3 weeks at Westlake Ace Hardware, customers were asked if they wanted to round up their purchase for a fan drive. That helped them raise $24,000, meaning more than 1,000 fans. Now, these fans will be available on a first-come, first-served basis, and it's only one per vehicle. But for anyone who can't make it to the store for the distribution, you can call 816-756-1455 to find out how you can receive a fan. Now, again, these will be passed out in a drive-through distribution line, and it is at the Westlake Ace Hardware in Kansas City, Kansas. That's off of State Avenue, and it starts at 8 a.m. and will go until 11, and drivers are being asked if they could enter through the Armstrong Avenue entrance. Reporting live in Kansas City, Kansas, Peyton Headley at KMBC 9 News.
Peyton, thank you. In Washington, the January 6th committee presented more evidence from inside the Trump White House in the weeks leading up to last year's Capitol attack. Tuesday's hearing examined a heated dispute between the former president and his associate and a last-ditch effort to stay in power by summoning supporters to the Capitol. Amy Lou's in our Washington bureau watching how the committee is using testimony to try and portray former President Trump as detached from reality. Amy?
Cody, the lawmakers say that former President Trump fought objections from some of his own White House advisors over his plans to seize state voting machines and overturn the election results. That's one of many actions he took to salvage his presidency.
To have the federal government seize voting machines, it's a terrible idea for the country.
New testimony from former White House counsel Pat Cipollone showed several advisors repeatedly tell Trump his election claims were false, resulting in a described unhinged meeting at the White House 4 days after the election results were certified.
What ensued was a heated and profane clash between this group and President Trump's White House advisors, who traded personal insults accusations of disloyalty to the president, and even challenges to physically fight.
Following the meeting, a draft executive order from Trump told the acting Secretary of Defense to seize voting machines, and later a tweet that lawmakers say acted as a call to arms to far-right extremists rallying in D.C., many who now face rare sedition charges.
We got people still following and doing that. Who knows what the next election could come out, could end up being down the same path we are right now.
The panel also raised the question of witness tampering, saying that Trump had tried to call a person who was planning to speak with the committee. The lawmakers say the Justice Department has since been notified. In Washington, I'm Amy Liu, KMBC 9 News.
Amy, thank you. A tense moment unfolded on Capitol Hill yesterday between Missouri Senator Josh Hawley and a law professor. It's happened during a hearing discussing the consequences of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade.
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing them.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
The exchange came after Senator Hawley asked what the professor meant when she referred to people who have a capacity for pregnancy, not just women.
There are just about 20 days until polls open for primary elections in Kansas and Missouri. You see the countdown there on your screen. The deadline to register to vote in this election has come and gone in both states, and early voting is going to start very soon. For some counties, it actually starts today, like Douglas County. Their in-person advance voting begins this morning. Johnson County will start on Saturday, while Wyandotte County will start next Saturday, July 23rd. If you want to vote early, be sure to check in with your local election office. In Missouri, absentee voting is underway at your local election office. Voters have until August 1st at 5 o'clock to cast an in-person absentee vote. The League of Women Voters is giving Missouri voters a chance to hear from the candidates running for office in several forums. Tonight's forum focuses on the Jackson County Legislature 1st District seat and the at-large seat. The League says it's invited all candidates on the ballot to attend. The forum starts at 6:30. It can be seen live on the League of Women Voter Kansas City, Jackson, Platte, and Clay Counties Facebook page. I'm going to share that link in just a bit. Anyone who wants to ask candidates a specific question can email that question to forumquestions@lwvkc.org. For more information on election deadlines and the candidates running for office, be sure to head to KMBC.com. We'll continue to cover the news surrounding the upcoming primaries all the way through election night. Time right now is 6:07.
All right, and Nick, as we start to give out those box fans, it's actually kind of timely right now as we get this little bit of break in the July heat.
Yeah, especially next week. We're going to have heat index values above 100 degrees for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Those are our heat impacts. But let's start at the beginning. Sunshine for today, typical summer day. 90 degrees, hotter and more humid for Thursday, 94 and sunshine. And here's a change to your weekend forecast. There is a chance of a shower or thunderstorm early Friday morning, another chance Saturday afternoon and evening, and then another one Sunday morning. Not a washout weekend. If you still have weekend plans, keep them. Just make sure you have the KMBC app on your phone. If there's any lightning in the area, you'll get those alerts. You'll be able to check the radar as well. That increased cloud cover and rain chance will prevent heat index values from making it above 100 degrees over the weekend. But with full sun and a strong south wind next week, the heat is on. Let's go to Scott Welgus. He's a look at First Alert traffic this morning.
Man, thanks, Nick. We are taking a look at some construction here in South Overland Park. It's southbound 69 Highway, 179th Street. You can see that left lane is out, and I think the construction workers may have seen your forecast. They're out early this morning. They want to avoid some of that midday heat, it looks like. So getting an early start to work here, southbound 69, 179th. Again, South Johnson County. We'll keep an eye on this, but so far, trouble-free around the metro. Scott Welgus, First News Traffic. Jamie, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Scott. Well, parents of the school shooting victims in Uvalde, Texas are furious after a video from inside Robb Elementary School was leaked to a Texas newspaper and published.
Now, we've chosen not to air the video or audio, but we want to be open, transparent, and prepare you because even some of these stills might be disturbing. We're going to show them here. You see the gunman there. Texas House Committee investigating the Uvalde school shooting was planning to release this surveillance video from a school hallway to the families on Sunday. The release was going to include what they call a fact-focused report, trying to help people understand the timeline of what police were doing during the standoff and shooting in May as they waited minutes and minutes and minutes to go in the classroom. On Tuesday, the Austin American-Statesman newspaper published some edited parts of the surveillance video. You could hear shots, you could hear kids crying. Angry, grieving parents were quick to speak out.
So we understand that the media it wants to hold people accountable because the government hasn't been transparent with us. You don't need the audio for that, and you don't need the full video for that. What they were going to show us was sufficient. You didn't have to do this.
We are pissed. These families didn't deserve it. I don't deserve it. That's a slap to our babies' faces, and we're tired of this.
Now, the Austin American-Statesman released 2 edited videos, one under 5 minutes, one nearly an hour and a half long, of this situation here in May, the deadly shooting. Paper is saying the goal is to bring to light what happened at Robb Elementary. And the release of the video, of course, comes more than a month after a gunman killed 21 people, 19 kids and 2 adults in Uvalde, Texas.
3 teenagers are getting treatment after being shot in Kansas City, Missouri last night. Police say they found the victims in the area of 83rd Terrace in Lydia. That was around 5 o'clock. Officers say one teen has critical injuries. The other 2 have non-life-threatening injuries. There's no suspect information yet.
We do know the name now of a man killed in Sunday's mass shooting outside Westport Ale House. He's 24-year-old Cardell Crawford. 5 other people were shot. Missouri State Troopers are investigating the shooting because it involved 3 off-duty KCPD officers working security out at the bar at the time. We did speak with Crawford's brother about what happened.
Yeah, he didn't want to show his face on camera, but he did want to make it clear his brother was not involved in the fight that led up to the shooting, that he was shot when he went to help his friends. His brother says Crawford would do anything to help the people he loved.
He was an outgoing person, and when he went out, everybody was attracted to him. Everybody loved him. He had so many friends. He was on the right path, and I was proud of him.
Crawford leaves behind a 3-year-old daughter.
This morning, people in a Cass County town find themselves all on their own.
Yeah, their roads in desperate need of repairs, but they can't find anyone to help. KMBC 9 Investigates talks to a nearby town who offers a solution.
And they can move a lot faster than we think.
This viral video is totally misunderstood, according to sea lion experts in Southern California. See why they say these big animals were clearing off the beach.
And with rain chances as we head into the weekend, I want to show you the hour-by-hour timing of when you may have a stormy impact with First Alert Future Scan coming up.
Our First Alert hour-by-hour forecast to help you start your day. You're watching KMBC 9 First News, leading the way.
Welcome back to First News, and taking a look out by the sports complex, have reports of a couple of stalled cars here, westbound I-70 near Stadium. When I hear a couple of stalls, I immediately think, well, maybe it's a wreck. Trying to sort through it, seeing if we have anything going on out here. We might see the camera zoom around a little bit as the folks at Scout do that. But east and westbound I-70 doing fine right now. In fact, if you're coming in from Independence, westbound I-70, 291 into downtown, a wide open 13-minute drive. Scott Walgus, First News Traffic. Cody, back to you.
Scott, thank you, sir. While several cities use the summer to fix up potholes created over the winter, right? One Cass County neighborhood is being forced to get creative. They're south of Belton in an unincorporated part of Cass County. The Mount Pleasant Road District is the closest. They haven't accepted any of the neighborhood's requests for work. KMBC 9 Investigates spoke with those crews. They say neighbors will have to band together and create a special tax district if they want the local government's help. People we talked to say they hope their story helps others.
I think a lot of people can learn from our story and make sure that they're asking the right questions.
The head of the Mount Pleasant Road District said that workers will do emergency repairs, but that the district doesn't have the budget to repair that entire neighborhood. And the story came to us by way of a tip to KMBC 9 Investigates. So keep them coming. Email us at investigates@kmbc.com with your tip or problem, and our team might get on the case. More than a dozen local students are on their way to healthcare careers.
And it's all thanks to some help from professionals. 16 students received $5,000 scholarships from the Greater Lee Summit Healthcare Foundation. One scholarship winner says she plans to use the money for nursing school at Missouri Western State in St. Joe.
It takes a weight off of my shoulders. Now I can just kind of drill in and get right to my studies and stuff like that. It just feels really, really nice. And I don't know, I just feel very humbled to have even been given a chance to have this scholarship.
All of those scholarship winners are going to go on to study medicine, nursing, and other areas of healthcare. A big congrats to all of them.
Yeah. Hey, Kansas City, Missouri Health Department, just a heads up, they're helping people enroll for Medicaid today at their headquarters at 24th and Troost. They're available from 9 this morning till noon. Right now, people between the ages of 19 and 64 who make less than $18,000 or less than $16,000 a year as a family qualify for the program.
Sporting Kansas City is in the middle of a tough stretch. 3 road games in just 9 days. Sporting is coming off a great road win in Montreal over the weekend. Tonight, they're at Minnesota before traveling to Salt Lake City on Sunday. Sporting KC has a lot of work to do. They are still near the bottom of the conference standings, and they're dealing with injuries. 2 of Sporting's newest players are still working through the immigration process, and they might not be available today.
We really need those guys. We need them for a number of reasons, but one of them is we need bodies at the moment too, just with as many games we have in July, and then also still guys out or banged up, or just a lot of games under their belt.
Again, Sporting kicks off against Minnesota United FC at 7 o'clock tonight. Sporting has won 2 of the last 3 matches against Minnesota. The other match was a draw. Kansas City's other soccer team, the Current, play again on Sunday. That's going to be a home game at Children's Mercy Park. Their opponent, OL Reign. They kick off at 6 o'clock that night. The Current is coming off 2 wins on the road.
6:18, millions of people have now seen this viral video, and maybe if you haven't, we're about to show it, showing sea lions chasing people off a beach.
Animal experts say this was a misunderstanding.
Okay,
so
here it is.
Take a look. This happened Friday in San Diego. Those are 2 male sea lions charging at people on the packed beach. Well, experts say what was actually happening here is the 2 males were fighting with each other, and the people just got in the way. They say this is really common during mating season.
Sea lions are wild animals. We're invading their space, so I think it's really important to just respect and use common sense to just keep our distance, and respect the land that we are on.
No one on the beach or any of the sea lions were hurt. The beach is adding new restrictions during mating season to give the animals more room. I just can't get over this video. I don't know what I would do if I was on that beach. I think I would freak out a little bit.
I think I'd do what those people are doing and be like, okay, back up to the parking lot.
They're moving a little faster than I thought they could, especially that one all the way there at the top.
They'll charge it, and then you go in the water. That's his domain, man. You gotta be careful.
You get in the water, it's game over there. But hey. They were just doing their thing, and people are just kind of there. It's like the bison or the buffalo at Yellowstone, where you're kind of like,
you just leave them be.
You saw one picture of the woman maybe this close with the camera. Don't do that. Just don't do
Little
that.
too
Let
close.
nature be.
Yeah, you got great iPhone cameras now. I mean, you can zoom in, use that zoom.
Horizontal, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, for TV, turn that thing on the side. City View cam this morning. A little bit of a haze, but it's not a humid morning. It's 66 degrees. We do have a west wind. It's 6 miles an hour. Our wind direction is going to be a little wonky today. It's going to change direction a bit, but we'll stay about 5 to 10 miles per hour with the speed. 58 degrees in Lawrence, 59 in Ottawa, 66 in Odessa, and 59 degrees in Warrensburg. Bit of a cooler morning for July, but this will be a classic July afternoon with sunshine here. This is our hour-by-hour planner for this afternoon and this evening. 90 degrees at 4 o'clock. There'll be a big full moon later this evening. About 8 to 9 o'clock, I think, is when it comes up or it reaches its maximum fullness. 10 o'clock, 81 degrees, no rain chances today. Tomorrow's going to be hotter, more humid. A south wind at 10 miles per hour, so that's going to transport hotter air that has more moisture to it. So we'll probably have some heat index values to deal with tomorrow, but not too many 100s. We'll stay below that mark. Now, Friday morning, this is an hour-by-hour forecast of the cloud cover and the radar. There's a chance of scattered showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, not anticipating any severe thunderstorms. But that's Friday morning at 8, 9. We could still have some lingering cloud cover or a downpour into early Friday afternoon. So what that will do is help to prevent 100-degree heat index values for Friday afternoon. There's another chance of a shower or thunderstorm Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning. Not a washout weekend. If you got lake plans, pool plans, keep them. Heat index values won't crack 100 on those days, but next week with a stronger south wind, lots of sunshine, we'll have highs above 95, morning lows above 75. That'll put our daytime heat index values about 100 degrees next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
All right, good to know. Thanks, Nick. A Kansas City legend is getting another honor before he joins the Baseball Hall of Fame. His legacy will now have a taste. We'll explain.
Okay, and Good Morning America goes overseas starting at 7. Team is live from Disneyland Paris to give you a tour around the new Avengers campus. See them starting at 7 here on Channel 9. 6:25, Kansas City, Missouri police have teamed up with the state's conservation department for a movie night under the stars. It's tonight at 8:30 at the Anita B. Gorman Discovery Center. Visitors can tour the outdoor garden before a showing of Zootopia. All ages are welcome. The event is free and snacks will be available.
Tonight is fall sports registration night for the city of Blue Springs. It's happening from 5:30 to 7:30. Families can swing by the Blue Springs Field House to register for sports, learn about some coaching opportunities, and meet some of the people in charge of running programs. For more information, you can head to bluespringsgov.com.
Baseball legend Buck O'Neil is being honored this month in more ways than one. Chateau Milk Company will release a limited edition, looks like a collector's Buck O'Neil bottle ahead of Buck's induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame. In fact, it has the date there on the bottom of the bottle. It says Immortal. It's salted caramel flavored, if you're wondering. Part of the proceeds will go to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, and the bottles will be available starting Monday at Hy-Vee stores and for delivery.
KMBC 9 is also celebrating Buck's legacy. Our own Len Jennings is going to travel to Cooperstown, New York for Buck's induction into the Hall of Fame. That's on July 24th. You can look for live reports on KMBC 9 News.
Kansas is seeing a surge right now of new people registering to vote ahead of the upcoming primaries. We'll tell you about the issue on the ballot that seems to be driving the rush to register.
Leading the way, you're watching KMBC 9 First News.
Furious parents.
We are pissed.
Stand together.
From all of us, screw you.
Against the release of surveillance video from inside Robb Elementary, showing what happened the day a gunman murdered their kids.
I didn't want to hear the gunfire.
This morning, hear their calls for Texas state leaders to act.
The Justice Department is on alert after new concerns over potential witness tampering.
President Trump tried to call a witness in our investigation.
See how the latest hearing could affect the future of the January 6th investigation.
We're only an hour and a half away from one of the Metro's biggest box fan giveaways. I'm here in KCK this morning with the details of today's event, so you don't miss out.
All right, 6:30 on your Wednesday. Thanks for waking up with us for First News Today. I'm Cody Holmgren.
And I'm Jamie Weiss in for Donna. Nick Bender here with our first alert forecast. And Nick, it is summer. The heat is here.
It sure is. It's a good time of the year for fans and air conditioning. Now today will be a typical July afternoon. Not excessively hot, but we'll still get to about 90 with sunshine. The wind will remain light and variable, about 5, maybe 10 miles per hour. The direction is going to change around a bit. It sort of looks a little bit like a hazy sunrise, but you wouldn't call it humid this morning. It actually feels quite comfortable. 66 degrees, just a few cirrus clouds, west wind at 6 miles an hour. We have 50s here in Tonganoxie, 65 in Leavenworth, 61 degrees in Liberty, and 68 in Independence. And our 12-hour forecast today in Kansas City, lunchtime about 86. 90 degrees at 4 o'clock with a lot of sunshine. There'll be a big old full moon this evening. Highs today, upper 80s, low 90s, about 92 in Olathe, Paola, 91 in Lacine. Tomorrow we'll have a stronger south wind. It'll be a hotter and more humid day, but we won't see that trend, that warming trend continue through the weekend. I want to show you what puts a halt on heat index values reaching 100 degrees Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Scott, coming up.
And thanks, Nick. We're taking a look at the roads over here on the Kansas side, and looks like a stalled car, eastbound 435, right there about Metcalf on the right shoulder. You can see the activity there, and not slowing us down. We're doing fine here on the south side run, 435 eastbound, heading from Metcalf into the Triangle over on the Missouri side. Looking at a wide-open 7-minute drive right now. Scott Walgus, First News Traffic. Jamie, back to you.
Thanks, Scott. We are following some breaking news this morning. KCK police are investigating a murder located here off North 58th Street near Meadowlark Lane and Parallel Parkway. Officers say they found a man dead inside of a home in the area. They say they do have a person of interest in custody. If you know anything that could help, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. Their tips hotline is 816-474-TIPS. New evidence from the January 6th committee is focusing on former President Trump and claims that his actions summoned a mob to storm the U.S. Capitol.
The committee claims Trump even planned to march to Capitol Hill. ABC's Jay O'Brien's in Washington, where the big question now is, will this evidence boost the chances of the former president facing criminal charges?
This morning, the committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol suggests former President Trump may have tried to influence witness testimony after calling a witness not yet seen at the hearings.
That person declined to answer or respond to President Trump's call and instead alerted their lawyer to the call. Their lawyer alerted us. And this committee has supplied that information to the Department of Justice.
It's unclear what, if anything, the Justice Department will do with the committee's referral. The committee heard testimony yesterday from former White House counsel Pat Cipollone, who described a, quote, unhinged meeting at the White House on December 18th involving a group of outside advisors to the president looking to challenge the 2020 election results. Among them, retired General Michael Flynn and lawyers Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell, who wanted Trump to issue an order to seize voting machines. Cipollone says he raced to the Oval Office when he found out about the meeting.
To have the federal government seize voting machines, it's a terrible idea for the country. That's not how we do things in the United States.
When the meeting finished, Trump tweeted his supporters calling on them to come to Washington on January 6th, saying it will be wild. Stephen Ayers, an Ohio man who pleaded guilty to participating in the riot, testified that tweet from Trump inspired him to travel to Washington.
Basically, the president, got everybody riled up.
Ayers said he only left the Capitol after Trump posted a video telling rioters to leave.
If he would have done that earlier in the day, 1:30, we wouldn't be in this. Maybe we wouldn't be in this bad of a situation.
The committee also showed a drafted tweet not sent by Trump, which called on his supporters to, quote, march to the Capitol on January 6th. Committee members claim it shows the attack was premeditated. The committee's next public hearing is set for next Thursday. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
A Kansas Cityan now running as an independent in the U.S. Senate race for Missouri was senior investigator of the January 6th committee until about 3 weeks ago. John Wood tells us he's worried about what could have been had Pat Cipollone not walked into that meeting.
If he had not done that, things could have been far worse. Imagine if he had not done that and the president was just listening to people like Sidney Powell And Michael Flynn and the Overstock CEO. So it's really important that there were some people there who were, Trump appointees who had the judgment to say, we need to stop this.
As for the committee's work, Wood says it is not mission accomplished yet, but he thinks that they're well on their way to at least helping Americans understand exactly what happened on January 6th.
On primary day, Kansas voters will become the first to vote on abortion rights since the High Court overturned Roe v. Wade, the first state to vote on this. A yes vote on Amendment 2 means the Constitution would be changed to say it explicitly does not protect a right to an abortion, paving the way for state legislatures to pass new abortion restrictions or potentially a ban, while a no vote maintains the legal precedent that people have a protected right to an abortion. A reminder, even though registration is closed, you do not have to be registered to a party to vote on this or the other issues. Voter registration numbers are up in Wyandotte, Johnson, and Leavenworth counties, partly because of this abortion issue.
Politicians should not have a right to vote for myself for what I choose is right for me, for my body, medically.
My mom just kept telling me, hey, you should register to vote. And I was like, I turned 18, so yeah, I was like, hey, it's time to vote. I can vote. Why not?
The registration deadline for voters in Kansas and Missouri has now officially passed, and you can count on KMBC for your Commitment 2022 coverage here on First News. We're going to continue to prepare you for the primary, including live coverage on August 2nd. Parents of the school shooting victims in Uvalde, Texas are irate this morning after video from inside Robb Elementary School was leaked to a Texas newspaper and published.
Now, we've chosen not to air the video or the audio, but we want to be transparent and prepare you because some of these still images might be disturbing. I mean, you see the gunman right here on your screen. The Texas House Committee investigating the Uvalde school shooting was planning to release this hallway surveillance video first to the families on Sunday. They were meant to include what the state's calling a fact-focused report to help them understand the exact timeline of what police were and weren't doing during the standoff and shooting in May. And in some of the audio, you can hear gunshots and kids crying. The Austin American-Statesman newspaper on Tuesday published edited parts of this video. Angry, grieving parents quickly spoke out against the paper's decision and lack of action by police in the video.
All these officers, they got their shield, they got their weapons, they got all their protective gear on, standing there. That ain't right. That ain't right. They signed up for this. They signed up for this, to serve and to protect. They didn't do none of that day.
Hours after the video was released, the Uvalde City Council met to accept the resignation of newly sworn-in Councilman Pete Arredondo. He's been on the job for weeks. He's also Uvalde's school systems police chief and is being blamed for law enforcement's slow response that day.
An awful update from Oceans of Fun. The young girl who was found in a pool last week has died. Officials with Cedar Fair, the owners of the park, tell us that Tuesday she died. Last Wednesday around 6:30, that girl was found in the Coconut Cove pool. The pool is still shut down right now. The name of that child has not yet been released.
Family of a man killed in a crash on 435 last week is suing a trucking company and its driver. They say both are responsible for the death of 51-year-old Joey Schweinfurth. Crash happened a week ago Tuesday. Police say that Schweinfurth died when a dump truck hit his F-150. Dump truck blew a front tire, crossed over into the southbound lanes. In the lawsuit, the family claims the driver and trucking company failed to maintain the dump truck and replace the tires in what they call a timely manner. We'll be keeping an eye on that for sure.
Yeah, 6:38. Want to check back in with Nick because the dog days of summer, they're here.
Here we are.
Yeah, sunny, 90 this afternoon, a typical July day, but there are changes to your weekend forecast. Let's look into it here with the First Alert 9-day forecast. Friday morning, there's a chance of a shower or thunderstorm, and that might linger into Friday afternoon with some cloud cover. That'll keep the highs in the low 90s. You can see it looks like it wants to get hot over the weekend, but with a little bit more cloud cover, a northeast to easterly surface wind Saturday and Sunday, our highs will only reach into the low 90s. We'll keep the heat index values below 100 degrees Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Saturday afternoon, there's a chance of a thunderstorm that will linger into Sunday morning. Not a washout weekend. Keep your pool plans, your lake plans, your outside plans. As we look ahead to next week, a stronger south wind, lots of sunshine. Aloft, there'll be a big ridge of high pressure building into the high plains. Those are all ingredients for hot and humid conditions. Highs above 95, heat index values above 100 degrees next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday afternoon. Cody.
Nick, thank you. A big giveaway starting soon will help keep folks cool in the metro.
Definitely needed right now. Ace Hardware and the Salvation Army are teaming up to give away box fans. KMBC 9's Peyton Headley is live at the giveaway spot in KCK to fill us in. Good morning, Peyton.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. Well, we're still about an hour and a half out before this giveaway starts, but take a look, there's already a line of cars here. We're about 8 or 9 cars deep, and they're one of more than 1,000 fans that are going to be handed out today, and they're coming from the Salvation Army and Westlake Ace Hardware. Now, how did they raise the money for these fans? During the first 3 weeks of June, Westlake Ace customers were asked if they wanted to round up their purchase for a fan drive, and these were at stores across Kansas City. Now, those donations made up $24,000, meaning more than 1,000 fans. And these fans will be available on a first-come, first-served basis, and it's one per vehicle. Now, anyone who can't make it out to the store for the distribution can call 816-756-1455 to find out how they can receive a fan. And again, these are going to be distributed in a drive-through line, and it's at the Kansas City, Kansas location on State Avenue. It starts at 8 a.m. and it's going to go until 11, and they're asking drivers to come from the Armstrong Avenue entrance, which is where those cars are lined up right now. So we'll keep you updated for the rest of the morning. For now, reporting live, Peyton Headley, KMBC 9 News.
Peyton, thank you. And with a week of heat on the way, make sure you have our KMBC 9 News app handy. You'll have access to stories like the fan giveaway and a customized forecast for your area. Just search KMBC for your free download.
We're learning new details this morning about the deadly shooting in Westport Sunday night. The Missouri State Highway Patrol say 24-year-old Cardell Crawford was killed outside of Ale House. This started with a fight in the bar that spilled out front, then someone started shooting. 3 off-duty Kansas City police officers were working in the bar and shot back. MAHP says it is not clear if those officers' bullets hit those 6 people. All 3 are on leave. This is standard procedure. A business owner in Westport says he's fed up with the violence. He has a list of changes that he says will help keep people safe. Bill Nigro says right now 10% of the money for community improvement goes to paying civil rights observers, or people who make sure everyone's being treated fairly at bars. He says that money should be invested in more armed guards in the area.
Westport wants our money back. We want to be able to secure ourselves, and the city needs to get out of the way.
Yeah, there were at least 3 officers there recently when the shootings occurred. The problem is not a lack of security. The problem is the number of guns.
Westport says it spends more on security per square foot than any other entertainment district in the Midwest. They have 120 security cameras on a system that links directly to the Kansas City Police Department.
6:42 right now. The fares are free, but the routes might not make it to your area.
Well, Ride KC is working on that right now to make the change. The options they have for you to help you save some money on your daily commute.
And it is our first look at billions of years of history. These amazing interstellar images are just the beginning of what's coming from NASA. This morning, meet the scientist who has first look into the cosmos.
As we head into the weekend, we know we have a rain and thunderstorm chance. I want to show you the hour-by-hour timing of when those downpours could impact your drive with Future Scan that's coming up.
Our First Alert 12-hour day planner, so you can prepare for what's next. KMBC 9 First News, leading the way.
6:45 as we look ahead to the weekend. Maybe you're looking for a pool day or a lake day. I think you'll be able to get that in here Saturday and Sunday. There is a chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm Saturday afternoon and evening, and then again Sunday morning, but it won't be a washout weekend. So you're still going to be able to get your plans in. Just make sure to have the KMBC app in case there's any lightning in your area. You'll get that alert. You can also check the radar. It will be a seasonably hot weekend with highs in the low 90s. Heat index values should remain below 100 degrees. But next week, with more sunshine and a stronger south wind, we'll likely have excessive heat and humidity on several days. Let's go to Scott Welgus. He's a look at First Alert traffic this morning.
And thanks, Nick. We're taking a look at the Kansas side here. Have reports of a stalled semi, and looks like it's going to be on the right shoulder. Westbound I-70 just before 635 KCK. And yeah, off on the shoulder here, not going to slow us down. May have been an issue if it was eastbound, but both directions doing fine right now. If you are heading in from western Wyandotte County, eastbound I-70 from the Speedway over to 670 in downtown KCK, running 16 minutes right now. Scott Welgus, First News Traffic. Cody, back to you.
Scott, thank you. We have a new look at some of the artwork that'll be on display at KCI's new terminal next year. This one's called Cloud Gazing by artist Michael Svivos of Soft Lab. This will be in the terminal's Concourse Connector. This new terminal will have art from 19 chosen KC area artists. The new terminal is set to open in March. Passengers on a United Airlines flight from KC to Denver had to be rushed off the plane after reports of smoke and fire.
Come this way, come this way. Come this way, come this way, come this way.
Passengers shot this video as the plane was evacuated moments after it landed in Denver. Everyone got out in less than 2 minutes, and firefighters quickly put out a small fire. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
6:47. Thankfully, gas prices are finally trending down, but it's still pretty painful to pay for a full tank of gas. So that might have you thinking gas free. So we've told you before on First News that Ride KC has expanded their services to help riders reach more areas of the metro while the fares remain free. In the next few weeks, the system in Johnson County plans to add more frequency to their routes. They've even announced a ride share option to help you save money on gas. And while the painful prices at the pump might be affecting your morning drive, Ride KC says now is the perfect time to hop back on the bus no matter where you live. Tonight on KMBC 9 News at 6 o'clock, we're taking a look at just how much money you could save by cruising through the metro with Ride KC.
Heads up for parents at the KCK Public School District. There's a free immunization clinic today at J.C. Harmon High from 3 to 6:30. Way for students to get caught up on required vaccines for measles, mumps, rubella, and tetanus. Coronavirus vaccines and booster shots will also be on hand. Kids do need to bring a parent or guardian with them. Families should also bring all available copies of their child's immunization records. The mental health version of 911 is set to launch nationwide this week, and the hope is that this hotline, this number, will be a game changer for suicide prevention and other emergencies. It's a new national 3-digit number, easy to remember, 988, meant to connect people facing a mental health crisis with trained professionals. The number launches on Saturday.
A group of stroke survivors is biking across the U.S. as part of a personal journey. They stopped in Kansas City, Missouri yesterday, which is about halfway through their trip. The cyclists are going from Oregon to Massachusetts. They hope to reach their destination in 100 days. It can take years to recover from a stroke. Some people never fully recover. That's why these cyclists want to prove that they can still conquer this challenge.
It's about figuring out how to get through the challenges and stay focused on what you can do. And
the emotional journey is so important to recovery.
Cycling every day to remind people I am a stroke, I can be a survivor.
A stroke is caused when something blocks the blood supply to the brain or a blood vessel in the brain burst. The CDC says the chances for strokes can be reduced by eating healthy, exercising regularly, and watching your cholesterol, among other things.
Starting tomorrow, Overland Park Police will be collecting school supplies to help kids in their districts. Supply drive will be at Target stores in Johnson County. Tomorrow, they start at the Target off 102nd. I can't say that today. 122nd Street, Blue Valley Parkway from 2 to 6. How about that? There will be more supply drives over the next 2 weeks. I'll get the addresses right next time. Hey, the full moon tonight will be an impressive one.
And it's nicknamed the Buck Moon. It is a supermoon, meaning it'll appear bigger and brighter than other moons this year because it's closer to the Earth. Sky gazers here in the Midwest and on the West Coast will likely have the clearest views. The Buck Moon got its name from the old Farmer's Almanac, which wrote male deer or bucks fully grow their antlers in July.
Okay, now you know. We're getting a look at more stunning infrared images of the cosmos from deep outer space. NASA shared these images from the $10 billion James Webb Space Telescope showing our universe from 13 billion years ago. And this is just the start. Scientists are talking about the emotional moments of seeing these images firsthand.
Personally, I went and had an ugly cry. Okay, because it works. What the engineers have done to build this thing, it is amazing.
Google is getting in on the fun too. So if you visit the homepage and you click that icon, it takes you through some of these remarkable images that we're seeing.
It's just so incredible. These pictures were more than 2 decades in the making. And this one in particular, I know, Nick, you tweeted that one out about an hour ago.
Yeah.
It just doesn't even look like a real image of something that exists. It looks like, a watercolor painting or something.
For sure. And you're seeing like star birth and things like that from 13 billion years ago.
I don't have words for it. You just stand
Can't
there and
comprehend
just, wow. I don't have words for it. It's incredible. I still am an astronomy nerd, and it's just, what do you say to that? It's a standalone. It's incredible.
And the first image that came out, and almost every one of those glitz of color was a galaxy.
Yeah, that's
makes you feel so small, so tiny.
I can't wrap my mind around it. I really can't. It's going to be just really incredible to see all the images and the science that comes out of it. So much more than just the pictures. Those are pretty, but my goodness, I threw a link on my Facebook page if you want to read a little bit about that, see some of those pictures, be able to follow along on the journey. It's something else. 66 degrees right now, west wind at 6 miles per hour. Our wind's going to stay fairly light today, 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's going to switch directions around a lot, but it'll stay fairly light. 59 degrees in Warrensburg, 58 in Lawrence, 59 degrees in Ottawa. So we have some 50s on the map this morning. This afternoon, a typical July heat. At lunchtime, about 88, 90 degrees at 5 o'clock, a lot of sunshine. Now, tomorrow's going to be a little hotter and more humid. We'll have a south wind at 10 miles per hour. That's going to transport hotter air that has more moisture to it, and that could result in heat index values creeping into the upper 90s. Now, that trend does not continue as we head into the weekend. Friday night, this will be Thursday night, early Friday morning. More cloud cover, scattered showers, and a couple of thunderstorms are possible during the drive. So that's 7, 8, 9 through about lunchtime. We still have some cloud cover and what could be a lingering shower or thunderstorm, which will help prevent 100-degree heat index values on Friday. We're also going to prevent that on Saturday and Sunday. I want to show you when we head back into those triple-digit heat index values on the First Alert 9-day forecast coming up. It's 6:53.
Right now, the White House coronavirus response team is warning Americans they need to do more to protect themselves against the coronavirus and COVID-19. A new, quickly spreading subvariant of the Omicron variant is leading the latest wave. Next, Good Morning America has the latest advice from top doctors on how to stay safe.
And here at home right now, Ace Hardware is preparing for a big giveaway. They're handing out free box fans to folks in need as we navigate this summer heat. Next, as First News continues over on KCWE, how you can join the giveaway even if you're not able to leave your own home.
And that fan's going to be a handy, especially for next week as we look at First Alert Future Scan for this is going to be Friday afternoon. Yeah, there's a chance of a shower or thunderstorm as we head into your weekend. There's also the chance over Saturday and Sunday. So coming up on KCWE, First Alert meteorologist Katie Horn is going to show you the timing of the day, Saturday and Sunday, that you might have that downpour and just how that's going to play into next week's heat.
Any relief would be nice.
There's going to be some in there. There's going to be a little bit. Yeah.
All right, good. Thanks for joining us. GMA is next. First News continues on KCWE.
Have a great day. Stay cool.